Joining us now, a legend as well. He is Tim Dillard, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin Brewers analyst. Follow him on Twitter at Dim Tillard. He joins us. You can see his pretty face over there at Broken Bat Brewery over there. He is Tim Dillard. Watch him on YouTube. Search The Fan Milwaukee. Tim Dillard, how are we?
I'm doing it just fine. I got $2 pints coming here at the Broken Bat Brewery, so make sure everybody stops by.
That makes sense of why you would be there then. Okay, now I know why you're there. Now this is my question. We just had Robin Yount on, and I know I've never asked you this. So back in the day, when some of my former cohorts of mine were here, a Gary Ellerson, let's say, a former Packer running back in the 80s, he would tell stories of the Bart Starr Packers, because Bart Starr was the coach. Forrest Gregg would be in their hot tub when they get out, and all these former players would always be around the locker room, kind of mingling with the current players. These 82 Brewers, from a Brewer standpoint, as legendary as the 60s Packers back then, prior to the Packers winning another Super Bowl with Brett Favre, how often did you see or hear about that 82 team when you were in Milwaukee?
I mean, in spring training, there was guys always there. Robin, Jim Gantner, Gorman Thomas. I mean, those guys were always in and around Coop. Yeah, that was just part of it. That's what you did. That's what I thought every spring training was. It was having guys that had been there, done that, in the locker room for you just to kind of hear stories from and learn from. And that was just pretty standard. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much when I got with the Brewers, it was you need to learn everything you can about them because it's a special organization.
They threw a parade for him, Tim, and they lost the World Series. They got a parade, and they lost the World Series. But, I mean, even we're talking about Milwaukee, right? I mean, the Brewers got a wild card spot and broke the 26-year drought. Yount was the bench coach for Swaim at that point, and we threw a party at Summerfest before they even played a game in the playoffs. Again, I ask you, what baseball team does that other than us?
It sounds like every baseball team needs to be doing that. Do it right. Yeah, that was awesome too. And Robin was right there in the midst of all of it. I remember one time I was talking to him when we were in Chicago. He was making out the lineup card, and he said something, and I was answering whatever question, and he goes, "Hold on a second." And he was trying so hard to make sure the lineup card was perfect and legible. I've never seen anybody work so hard on a lineup card before. And it was just kind of funny. Like it's all about getting it right. And when you talk about Milwaukee in general and Milwaukee fans, like they just want to get it right. They want to celebrate times when you can celebrate. And then sometimes there's heartbreak, but that's all of that is a part of the game of baseball.
Those early 80s teams, I don't know about 87, but those early 80s teams, you start talking about story time with Gorman Thomas. I mean, I'm sure there was good story time with Gorman Thomas that could not be repeated on a radio or a TV station.
I mean, you could say that about almost every ball player to some capacity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys out there that witness a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. Gorman Thomas is the best of them when it comes to telling stories about what happened back in the day, that's for sure. Tim Dillard, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin Brewers analyst. Follow him on Twitter at Dim Tillard. He's hanging out with us right now. Check him out on YouTube. Search The Fan Milwaukee. You can watch him there. So, 12 wins in a row, free burgers next Wednesday from like 2 to 6, right, at George Webb. I mean, you hear Brandon Woodruff after the game, he's all like, man, I was a little stressed out about it, man. I want to win hamburgers for everybody. I chuckled. I thought that was pretty funny. But clearly, the people around the organization and the players were well aware of the promotion.
Well, I mean, especially coming on the heels of they won 11 the other day, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Yep.
So, I mean, it wasn't like this came out of nowhere. They were on the verge of doing this earlier already in the season, and so they didn't get there. So they've already heard the rumors and things like that. So it was probably super fresh. And then they get to 11, and then all of a sudden they have a chance to win. And it becomes more prevalent. And you guys see the signs too. There's signs up at the ballpark. Everyone's holding a sign like, free burgers if we win 12. Like people knew what was going on. The sad thing is, right, it's the 20th. I think we're going to be in Chicago when those burgers are being given away.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Now, you would think somebody would put him. I don't even know how you could do that. I don't think you could. You, yeah, you could. There has to be a way to keep burgers warm to get them down in Chicago to make sure that the team all get burgers. There has to be a way to do it. There has to be a way to do it. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be a way to do it. This is the thing. My phone was blowing up last night. So the game is going on. The Brewers are up 6-0. And Rock says something along the lines of, "Man, can you smell those burgers?" Dude, when it got to 6-5 Tim Dillard, my phone was like, if they lose this after he said that, people were so mad. I was like, dude, just relax. It's 6-5. It'll be fine. And obviously it was fine. But Brewers fans were on edge last night after all of that.
Well, I mean, to be on edge when you're so far up in Major League Baseball, so far up in the NL Central,
on edge about burgers, Tim. Let's be clear. Yeah, it was about the burgers.
Edge about burgers, yeah.
Yes.
But to me, it's more than that. Like, everybody loves burgers. That's great. But I think it represents something bigger than just free burgers. It represents a team that they're backing that's having success. That's what it represents. And what better way to represent success than a free burger? Because, I don't know, I'm a big freezeman, so a free burger goes a long way. I wish I could partake in that, even though we're not going to be there.
I've never heard anybody refer to this as a freezeman. I was like, what the hell is a freezeman? And then you clarified free. Anything free is me. Anything free is me, right? Yeah, anything free. Doesn't matter what it is. Tim Dillard, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin Brewers analyst. Follow him on Twitter at Dim Tillard. I was concerned, I'll be honest. When Woodruff wasn't pitching in the fifth, I'm like, man, I really hope he ain't hurt. I hope that's not what it is. But at the end of the day, they said after the game that, no, they were watching pitches because this was the first time he was coming off of 4 days and having to pitch again, which now looking at it obviously seems very, very smart because you want to make sure he is healthy and ready to go maybe deeper into games once you get to October.
Yeah, absolutely. That was actually brought up a couple weeks ago. Pat Murphy was talking about what it would look like if he got back to normal days rest and if that would be an issue. So, yeah, I mean, the people that are in the know and, pay attention to all those interviews and stuff, we're aware that that could have been a shorter outing. But then again, he had first and second. Every inning was a stressful inning for him. Not that he got hit around very hard or whatever, but there was a walk here, there was a dinker there. So I think that even solidified, we're already going to make it short, but the fact that every inning has been tough. I think it made the decision easier for him. And they got some studs out in that bullpen, right? So they came in, they did their job. There was a couple of hiccups, but then the offense was like, is this enough? Let's just score 12.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they came back right away. Contreras had a big 2 RBI base hit. Like that next half inning, they extended back to 3 runs just like that. And you're like, okay, this is going to be the Brewers ball game. What about Joey Ortiz these last couple of weeks? I mean, his home road splits were heavy on the road, like 287 on the road, and then he was awful at home. And then this homestand comes along, and he's been unbelievable on this homestand with his bat.
Yeah, I mean, you knew the bat was going to come. He was having good at-bats. Early on this season, I think he got benched because, he was taking
for like
too many
2
pitches.
games.
And now all of a sudden, and now he's swinging at everything, which is fine. If you get comfortable swinging, like he got the blessing from the coaching staff, like, hey, we want you to swing more. Maybe the walks are down, maybe the strikeouts are down, but he's putting the ball in play. And I think he's seeing what happens when you're putting the ball in play at that. We saw other guys do it, but he's finally having that success. But even more so than the bat, I knew the bat was coming. He's too good of a hitter. We saw what he did last year. The glove. I mean, go to the first inning. The play that he made for Woodruff, he literally saved a run. And he made 3 Gold Glove plays in yesterday's ball game. 3. The taking runs off the board. I know you can't take those runs and put them in your RBI count, but that's what it's like. Like the analytics, that's what it looks like to have a guy playing that kind of defense, taking runs off the board. That's the equivalent of him hitting a solo homer. We've been seeing great defense from him all year long, but yesterday was something magical. I saw about 3 plays that not too many people in baseball make.
Can we talk about a different play? I agree with Ortiz. He's amazing defensively. But I want to talk about a guy's defense and then what has happened with his offense. Bryce Turang, that play that he made would be ranging to his left that was hit to right field between first and second. He goes and gets it. Woodruff is on a dead sprint, it looked like, and he throws an absolute perfect throw to him running to first base. That is not an easy play for either one of those two guys.
That is, you work on that in spring training. And when you work on it, maybe you do it several days in a row or once a week or whatever, it never feels comfortable. I mean, I had so many spring trainings and we worked on that all the time. It never gets easy. And the whole time, most of us are like, who makes that play? You know, the pitchers are over there by themselves like, dude, no one makes that play. You right? Because when we're going over the drills, it's usually a coach who's standing out there ready for you to run, and he's trying to throw it at the worst possible time with the worst possible throw. We've continually seen Turang do amazing things on the field. It didn't surprise me at all that he was there in position and waiting to find Woodruff in the flat. I think what surprised me the most is how quickly Woodruff realized that Vaughn was not going to be there and that he needed to be there, and he turned on the jets to get there. And in that moment, I mean, if that goes wrong and he gets collided with, this is a guy that spent so much time on the IL the last 2 years. This guy finally gets healthy, and he's like, forget it. I'm making this play. We're getting this out. And that's what happened. He goes over there because he knows Bryce Turang is going to throw a strike to him. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So there was so many things that happened in that moment. You're right. That was pretty cool. Brewers are playing sensational baseball.
You're the baseball expert. I want you to explain to me where all this power with Bryce Turang has come from in the last couple of weeks. Tell me where this has all come from. Don't tell me it's push-ups. Don't tell me he's doing a couple extra pull-ups. I don't believe you. There has to be something else. Like, what has happened with Bryce Turang to all of a sudden become Bryce Turang power hitter?
I don't think pull-ups are a thing. Maybe they are. I don't know.
They are.
Probably not good. Probably not good for the shoulders. Throwing shoulder. We show up every single day, and this is funny. I was talking with Stephen Watson, one of the hosts of Brewers Live. We were talking about this the other day. Everybody's like shocked by Bryce Turang's home runs, but we are not. We've seen his batting practice. This guy unloads baseballs. It's a smooth swing. He makes excellent connection. He barrels up everything, but at the same time, you're like, well, it's batting practice. I think, honestly, he's gotten to a point where he can have a little bit more fun, and he can go for the long ball. Because remember, he's the guy that, hey, you're going opposite field, great job. Keep going opposite field, get your singles, get your doubles. You're going to play a role. You have to play this role, or the team's not going to win. Well, now he's on the team, and everybody's contributing. Everybody. So now he's like, you know what? I mean, I'm not saying this is true. I haven't talked to him, but he's probably like, I do have some in the tank, and I can kind of show it off. And I think that's what we're seeing as a guy that feels comfortable. And where the game is, where he's allowed to kind of take a few risks, which I don't think he had that. He definitely didn't have that his first year. And you go back to the last couple of years, it's just he was good, but he was playing the role of let me just get on base type guy. Dude, BP, I'm not kidding. The home run derby that the Brewers had a couple of weeks ago, he would have been a guy that I probably would have picked, in at least the top three of who would be in a home run derby because his BP is incredible.
That's great stuff. Now off to Cincinnati, where you can have your own home run derby in Cincinnati with the way the ball flies at Great American Ballpark. So there's going to be home runs in this series coming up this weekend. And they got some offense. They got a great manager in Terry Francona. So it should be a fun series starting tomorrow. Tim Dillard, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin Brewers analyst. Follow him on Twitter at Dim Tillard. Thank you so much for coming on. Safe travels.
All right. Thanks, Sparky. Hey, see everybody at Broken Bat Brewery.
There you go. There he is, Tim Dillard.